Hello everyone, a very warm welcome back to F1 Fantasy Series 2026. This week it's round 2 as we go to Sepang International Circuit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And this week it's George Russell once again on the front row on pole. Will he maybe try to get the first win of the season in a very dominant Mercedes, or will Lewis Hamilton repeat another win after his brilliant race last time out at Albert Park in Australia? Well, let's have a look to the grid then. George Russell on pole, but who will line up alongside him this week? Round 2 in Malaysia then. Here's your starting grid, and well, George Russell starts out on pole position. Kimi Antonelli and his teammate in P2, another Mercedes front row lockout this season. Hamilton and Leclerc on row 2, good qualifying again from the Ferraris, looking to try and make some moves into the top 2. Clark and West hit each other in Australia and now line up on row 3. Not again, please. Hadjar and a best at qualifying for Alpine's Pierre Gasly in a long time. Lindblad and Hulkenberg on row 5. And a good qualifying for the Audi boys too. 2 four-time world champions on row 6, Vettel and Verstappen. And then Ricciardo and Colapinto on 13th and 14th. The Alpine really having a good weekend so far. Lawson and Behrman on row 8, and Lawson having a good qualifying, Behrman not so as good as Australia. Bortoleto and Sainz, Williams still struggling with this new car. Ocon followed by Albon in 19th and 20th. And it gets better. Bottas and Perez in the Cadillacs, a good qualifying for them at the expense of the Aston Martins of Alonso and Stroll. But on the back row, and it's the big surprise, both McLarens not running in qualifying, Norris 25th, Piastri 26th. Here we are then on the grid in Malaysia. The first time since 2017, we're coming to 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. A good start from George Russell. Antonelli doesn't get away well. Hamilton already getting a very good launch. And Leclerc's also dropping back in the background too. And now Kimi Antonelli maybe going to have a look on the man he replaced at Mercedes. Russell holding the lead very well. But now side by side they go. In towards turn 2 we come. This long left-hander hairpin. And West has got a good start too in the background as well. And the two, Ferrari and Mercedes, battling out again, side by side, all the way up towards turn 4. Lewis Hamilton on the outside, trying it. Westall's having a dive down the inside and almost gets his front wing swiped off by Antonelli. But it's not to be. Hamilton keeps second position and he's up in the top 2 again in Formula 1. This Ferrari is really challenging the Mercedes, but at the moment it's Russell, Hamilton, Antonelli, West, and I think it's Clark in the background too, then Leclerc. But what a getaway it was from George Russell, and West is maybe having a look on the back of Antonelli now. That is a fast turbo in that Ferrari engine, but we'll see some replays now to start. Here's West, here's his start, and you can see a little Antonelli bogged down in the middle of the launch. You can see up ahead. West tried to cover on the right hand side. Here's Hamilton then, and he had to really defend, and George Russell covers off really nicely and covers off well. Antonelli watching the mirrors and see, but Hamilton got a good run. Well then, Isaac Hadjar with a fantastic qualifying in the Red Bull yesterday is now right on the back of Kristen Clark, coming down towards turn number 1, and maybe Hadjar might have a go, gaining ever so slowly and getting towards the braking zone. Hadjar pulls out. Clark can't do much about that. And now Isaac Hadjar up to P5 in the Red Bull and maybe saving their weekend after a poor Verstappen qualifying. Great move from Hadjar. Now then, Kimi Antonelli is getting closer and closer to the back of Lewis Hamilton. He's not managed to make the move yet, but Antonelli now, the Italian, looking maybe towards turn 1, having a dive down the inside late. But Hamilton holding out nicely. The two side by side now, coming through turn 2 once again. But Hamilton holding it quite nicely. He'll have the outside line now, coming all the way up towards turn 4. The long right-hander of turn 3, and now the heavy braking zone. It's going to be last the late breakers. Antonelli trying it down the inside. Hamilton looking to hold out, and it does a brilliant bit of defence from the 7-time world champion. Antonelli can't do much about it. He's got to try and catch him back down again. Well, Charles Leclerc now looking to try and get Clark himself. And Clark lost out to Hadjar and will lose out maybe to the Ferrari too. Last the late breakers into turn 1, and Leclerc gets up into P6. A good move from the Monegasque. It's not been the finest of starts of the season for Charles Leclerc, but Clark falling down the order. It was a slightly, maybe the qualifying was too good to be true in comparison to the race performance of that KCF1 car, but, well then, the leaders have all been really nicely kind of bunched together, the top 4 and 5. And, well, they're all within the space of 5 seconds. And George Russell, though, leading away, and is that someone in the background? West spins round again! West has spun, well, towards the final corners. I believe that's turn 14, and, well, West has, well, fallen behind Isaac Hadjar now. And now he's really slowed down, which is, we cut away from West, and we come back to him. And Leclerc looking down the inside of in the Ferrari, and does, I think, get the move done. West is going to lose out, and he's been asked to retire. Issue with the power unit. Not the day the West Racing Sport team won. There was a chance maybe at challenging for the big points. And, well, West Racing Sports team teammate Sebastian Vettel on the back now of Pierre Gasly. If there's going to be a hope for some West Racing Sport points this afternoon, it lies with the German, the 4-time world champion. And, well, he's getting closer and closer to Pierre Gasly. It seems slowly gaining towards the final corner of turn 15. Looping round in the hairpin. Vettel has the inside on the Frenchman. Not quite to be. This time we'll have another go all the way down towards turn 1. Use all the battery you can. The two of them fighting on the straight. Gasly, a former Red Bull driver himself, trying it, defending it, but Vettel just alongside enough. But Clark in the middle as well. Is also being thrown into the mix. Gasly's trying it once again on Vettel and trying to get back past. But Sebastian Vettel back up into the big places in the points. P7 for Sebastian Vettel, and now he'll go chasing down Kristen Clark with the last 6 laps of this race to go. It's all to play for the 4-time world champion, and, well, Clark is running brilliantly in 6th as well. Well, it's been all too good today for George Russell. He's held off his teammate and one of his title rivals in Lewis Hamilton, but George Russell is going to bring that Mercedes home for its first win of the season, a first win since Las Vegas. George Russell wins the Malaysian Grand Prix. A brilliant race from him. Hamilton and Antonelli round out the top 3. Well then, George Russell, top of the tree again in Formula 1. And, well, he's had a brilliant day. Lewis Hamilton in 2nd, still takes the championship lead, but Antonelli is catching slowly as well in P3. Well, looking towards the rest of the results then. Hadjar, a brilliant P4. Charles Leclerc in P5. Clark with her first Formula 1 points. Vettel on his return to Formula 1 scores a P7. Gasly in 8th. Hulkenberg 9th. And Arvid Lindblad picks up his first points in Formula 1. A brilliant day here at the Malaysian Grand Prix. Let's look to the championship then. Well, Hamilton continues his lead, but it's cut to 10 points now. Antonelli and Russell both in the Mercedes, 33 each. Leclerc in 4th, Hadjar 5th. Norris, Verstappen, Vettel, Clark and Behrman. But this could all change when we next go to Indonesia.